What is going on? So today we need to go hit up the car wash because, as you can see, the C8 is absolutely filthy right now. We had a little rain, well, a lot of rain the past couple of days, and even though I didn't go driving in the rain, there's still some water and stuff on the road. And then of course there's a little window in the garage that I park in, and since it was a little windy as well, totally covered the C8 with all this dirty rain. So we're gonna go give it the first wash. I've never washed this car before, and I figured it'd be a good video to make because the front struts on the C8 Corvette are susceptible to rust damage because water is pooling up in these little crevices here. People are ordering C8 strut covers to put on the front. Under here in this area. So I think I'm gonna pull this front cover off here and see how much water gets there. This car has not been driven in the rain, so this is gonna be just after a wash. So I know they're dry right now for sure, but we'll see how it looks after washing the car underneath there. Now, while we're on our way to the car wash, I wanted to bring up one tiny little detail that has really made my life so much easier in the C8 versus the ZL1. And that has to do with phone volume. Whenever I would get in the ZL1, my phone volume, whatever it may be set to, it's usually pretty much set to max or very high, would automatically come down low because I don't want the volume to be blasting in the car. You know, the ZL1 had a nice Bose sound system, so I would have the car ring volume set to pretty low. And the second that I turned the car off, the phone volume would never return to what it was before I turned my car on. Like, once it connected to the car took control of that volume, and it would never reset to what the phone was at before I turned the car on and before the phone connected to the car. What I'm noticing, however, in the C8 is that whatever my phone volume is set to before I get in the car and whatever the phone volume is set to through the car are completely separate. Now, I think that it has to do with Apple CarPlay, because obviously the ZL1 did not have wireless CarPlay. It was just a standard Bluetooth connection. So I kind of have a feeling that that's what was actually causing that issue. Sometimes I would forget to turn the phone volume all the way back up. It kind of just goes back to the ease of having the automatic PDR start. So yeah, while I had phone volume problems in the ZL1, that is no longer a problem in the C8. All right, so we just finished washing the car. Of course, it's starting to rain. So under the front trunk hood itself here, it doesn't seem that there's too much water. I'm really just surprised that even with the front trunk lid and then the piece of plastic that would be right here, how there's that much water collecting in the strut wells down there. It just doesn't make any sense, but you know, we'll take it off and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so it's actually the next day, and the reason I waited to take a look at the struts was because I got a notification that I was gonna get some deliveries today, and one of those deliveries was the front strut covers here. They finally came in. I had ordered these a couple days ago, so I already knew that I needed them, and thankfully they came in pretty quick. The only thing is I gotta go run to Target really quick because I'm pretty sure at least for one of these you need like a zip tie to keep it in place, and I only have like the clear or the white zip ties, and even though it's going to be underneath all of the, you know, plastic covering there, just for the sake of keeping it clean, I'm gonna get the black zip ties so it matches. So we're gonna install these. And the other thing that came in was the Frunk and trunk cargo liners, like the all-weather material. I just got that because I want to be extra careful with the carpeting in there. You know, if I put groceries in there and something leaks or spills or something, I don't want it to ruin the carpeting. So I got that, and then also for the Frunk, I got the collapsible storage organizer, just to help keep things from sliding around. It's supposed to fit perfectly in the Frunk. So yeah, we're gonna take a quick drive to Target, and hopefully they have the black zip ties, get these installed, see how much water is under there. It's been 24 hours since we washed the car and then drove it home in a little bit of light rain. So how much water got into the strut wells? I don't know what it is, but this car starts so loud. Like the cold start on the C8 is stupid loud. And the ZL1 was loud, don't get me wrong, but like something about this, it just like shrieks that much more. Why don't we give it a little rev too here? Oh my God. Yeah. Sorry neighbors. And I absolutely love the front cameras on the C8. It makes parking so easy. You can get perfectly in the lines every single time. And especially this front camera right here looking straight down. No more clipping the curbs, taking your front bumper off, or the front splitter right off. It's just super nice. So of course, Target did not have any zip ties, but I went to Home Depot and I found some automotive grade cable ties. So we're gonna put these in with the struts, but first I figured we could do the mats. I'm gonna put these mats in with the Jake skull logo, so it's pretty cool. Alright, so we got that in there. I'm gonna put the cargo organizer in now. Got this nice organizer for the frunk. Looks like you just pull these apart and then it just opens up. So this should fit right. Yep. Sweet. Alright, so here it is with the mat all the way on the bottom. Back there. And then with the new organizer, there's little flaps that come down just so that it's a nice surface here. And there's also a little panel over there that you can pull out of the side net and set it up with the Velcro based on how you need it. So good little addition to the frunk space. So we got this piece, which I believe goes like that. And then these go on the sides. That looks like you're actually supposed to put these in first. Alright, so this is the end result here. Got that little side piece over there, side piece over there, and then the center Jake skull logo. Net still fits fine. Overlaps in the back there. So, yeah. Sweet. So let's get over back to the front. Moment of truth. There is water. These two far right definitely have water in it. Closest to the middle. Well, let's go to the other side. Same thing. We got water in this one and this one closest to the middle. This one has a bolt. There is no water in this one. One last thing before we put the covers on. I'm gonna soak up that water. I'm going to give it a couple minutes on each of these wells, and then we'll go ahead and start installing the covers. Alright, I don't know if you can tell, but you can take a look. This rag is pretty soaked right there. Yeah, so this definitely helped soak all that up. I have like a little, one of these grabbers, these grabber things. Just grab the edge of this and shove it in there. Alright, I figured I would use my phone really quick, just so you can get a better view down here. As you can see, still a little tiny bit wet. I'll have to go through there one more time. This one's pretty good. Folk, there you go. Looks good. And yeah, everything else looks pretty good.
For me, it was just the two in between the ones with the bolts that had water in it. So just gotta make sure that this one right here is 100% dry. Then we'll put the struts on, strut covers. As for the driver's side one, we got a 10mm bolt. Go. So I'm gonna do this with two hands so that I do not drop this bolt in there, because that's the last thing I want to have happen. Be careful with this, do not drop this down there. All right, so we're gonna do the passenger side first. So we got this one. All right, one thing that's giving me trouble right now is this piece of black rubber. Looks like, I don't know if it's a spacer or what it's for, but you have to make sure that this is lined up with this screw hole here, because that's what we're gonna zip tie. We're gonna zip tie through this and around this rubber thing, but this rubber thing was more over here, and I couldn't put this down. This is not clearing this, like where it comes down here, so it was hitting that, and I couldn't actually get it flat on here. So watch for this little rubber thing. Make sure it's pushed over beforehand, because now I gotta take this thing out and then put this back together over here where we're gonna zip tie it. All right, so there it is, just enough to hold it in place. You don't want it tugging too hard on this steel line there. So just enough to keep it held in place, and I think that's perfect. It's not going anywhere. It feels sturdy. So we're just gonna snip the tip of this off so it's not hanging under here, and then we'll move on to the driver's side. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, that was very tricky to get out. As you can see, they do not want you taking this cable out of there. It was probably like a 20-minute struggle for me to pull that out. Obviously, I'm trying to be careful with the cable itself, so I was trying to pull just from the plastic here, and that was definitely a fight. So we got it out. Now we have to slide the last strut cover. All right, so I need to use two hands, but we're gonna slide this underneath this right here. All right, so we are finally done. Got the cable above the strut cover, and that bolt back on there feels perfectly in place, not going anywhere. The other one is done over here. Give you a quick look. But we're done, so now we're just gonna put the plastics back on and wrap it up. And one last quick thing before I put it back. Just wanted to show you, I got this cool leather Z51 keychain and key case. They have like a carbon fiber one that I really wanted to get, but I wanted the buttons covered. So this is the only case that I could find so far. Now these bottom ones. Alright, so that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Really, it was just that cable that really had me fighting to get that thing out of there. But we're done now. The strut covers are on there, and we can wash the car without having to worry about any water. We can drive it in the rain without having to worry about any water getting in there. So if you have a C8 or you're about to get one, make sure you get the strut covers, put them on before you get rusted bolts in there. You don't want that. So yeah, that's going to be it for this one. And until next time, peace.